Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you with me today. Hope you've recovered from a busy Christmas and New Year's week and getting almost back to normal. And hope you have a wonderful year. And as you join me this morning, if you want to, look in the book of Acts, the 18th chapter. And we're going to look at verse 2, and Paul finds some new friends, new co-laborers here. Verse 2 says, he found a Jew named Aquila, a native of Pontus, recently come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because Claudius had commanded all the Jews to leave Rome, and he went to see them. Just a little background here on this passage, on these what's happening in this verse, before we kind of look for some truth here, some message. We have Aquila and Priscilla, who had recently come from Rome, from Italy, and what we read here is that Claudius had ordered that all of the Jews were to leave Rome. This would have took place in about 49 A.D. According to the historical records that are available about the incident, he was upset because there had been some riots over someone named Chrestus. Chrestus, and most likely this is a reference, a misspelling, something in the history of a reference to Christ. The name that they would have used would have been Christos, Christos. So most likely this has got something to do with people who were following Christ, some type of upsetting situation, and so they leave Italy. We don't know if they were already followers of Christ or not, or whether this happened as part of their journey, part of the ministry of Paul. Not really sure exactly their total. Basically, that's their background. We know that they came from Italy to Corinth, and Paul here, it says Paul finds them. He found a Jew named Aquila, native of Pontus, and his wife, and he went to see them. And so I think as we look at that, you may say, well, what lesson do we learn here from that? I think the key word that should stand out to us here is the word found. That Paul found Aquila and Priscilla. He looked for them. Paul's ministry was either looking for those who needed Christ, or for those who needed to be discipled and grow in the relationship with Christ that they already had. And so Paul goes, and don't know how, doesn't tell us that, but somehow he finds them and begins to minister to them, work with them, and develop them in their faith. And again, we'll see more as we move on through the book. Hear stories of these two and their relationship with Paul, but they and something should be said for them as well, for allowing Paul to come into their home and being willing to accept direction, willing to accept instruction, and later we see in the book of Romans, Paul will call them his helpers, and so we see the joining here of someone searching, Paul looking for someone to disciple, someone to teach, to train, or to witness, and then we see the other side of those willing to be that disciple, to be willing to be that learner that Paul could teach, and so I would challenge all of us, myself included, this morning, that we're active on both of those fronts. Is there someone? Are you actively looking for someone, family, friend, coworker, who you can either share the gospel with, or you can help them to grow and mature in their faith and develop as believers? But then on the other side, are you willing to allow yourself to be instructed and trained by someone who may be further along in the faith, who can help you grow as a believer? And so again, obviously, it takes both sides. You have to have the teacher and the student, and I think we should be actively involved in being both. There's someone who can learn from our experience, and there's someone who we can learn from. Think about it. Try to be both today. Be a teacher and a student, and we'll see you here tomorrow morning.